Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back, or welcome to this channel where we talk all things about Celtic spirituality and we bring Celtic spirituality into a chaotic world. So this morning I read the Jira stone, which is a great stone, and I just want to read to you from my wee book of notes what Jira means. So it means year or cycle, and the number 12. It means cycles, completion, changes, harvest, reaping rewards, reap what you sow, good or bad, the good reward or bad reward that you deserve, coming into something better, new beginning, fertile season, prosperity and success, act with wisdom, store energy for the winter of life, completion of a cycle or a project. It represents all four seasons. Don't expect fast results. Trust time, and you can't make a river run faster. And I love that. I love this stone because it is just a reminder that things come and go, right? There is a season for everything, and sometimes you're at the beginning of a cycle, sometimes you're at the end of the cycle, sometimes you're in the middle of it, right? But I like this stone. So I am getting ready to go on a retreat, and it is for the Iona community, which is Iona is an island off of the coast of Scotland, in the Inner Hebrides, and it's a tiny little island, tiny little island. It takes an entire day to get there. There's no easy way to get there. You pretty much you fly into Glasgow. You take a train to Oban. You take a ferry from Oban to the Isle of Mull. You take a bus across the most narrow road in the world through the Isle of Mull to another ferry, and then you take the ferry and you get over to Iona, and it's a tiny island. So this retreat this weekend is people in North America who are part of the Iona community, which I'm a part of that community, and we gather together as a family group here in the States. So excited to meet people I haven't met before. I've talked to a lot of them online. They weren't there when I was on Iona, but we all have that sort of common thread that binds us, and we're meeting at a beautiful retreat place that's next to a standing stones park called Columkille, and that's a whole story in and of itself. And so I'm really excited, and I desperately need that time in nature, that time for reflection, and really the community of practice that we all belong to in this spiritual, Celtic spiritual community. So very excited to be going to that. And in your practice, whatever your practice is, whether the Iona community is not inherently Christian, right? It is Christian-like because Saint Columba, who founded the Iona community, is one of our Celtic saints. But it is ecumenical, and we have people of all faiths, all traditions, people who aren't any tradition. It's really open to everyone. And I love Scotland. I could really go there anytime, any day, and hang out and talk about spiritual things. So I'm excited, but I also wanted to talk just about what it's like to go on a retreat if you've never been on one. And you don't have to go on an expensive retreat. This isn't an expensive one. You can just go into nature for a few hours and have a retreat, like they say staycation. You can have a stay retreat, and you can design it yourself. But the number one thing you have to do is set an intention. What do you want to get out of this time and space? What do you want at the end of it? So for me, I'm really looking forward to the community and making connections within the Celtic community and understanding how other people practice Celtic spirituality, and of course enhancing and embracing my own. So I'm going to pull a rune. I'm going to throw the Jira stone back in. Just going to, touch my rocks here just to, they got moved around. And I'm going to pull a rune to help me set an intention. What should my focus be for this weekend? So I'll ask our spirit team to help us choose the best message, the best thing to set as an intention, so that I can go write about it and then think about it. And of course I'll pull runes when I'm there as well. Ah, Kenaz, which means torch. Kenaz means torch or light. And let's just get a wee reading over here of some other things. I've written these notes that come from all different sources because it helps me to kind of like think, fully about each stone. So it means torch. And vision, creativity, inspiration, vitality, improvement, hope, passion, light, creativity, enlightenment, teaching and learning, ancestral knowledge, warmth and illumination, creativity and clarity, controlled fire, spiritual strength. What a great stone for a spiritual retreat. Couldn't pick a better one, right? So, yeah, what a great rune. That is outstanding. So I'm very inspired by this community and definitely feel called to be more of a part of it. I pulled some new cards so that we can try some new things out together. This one is called the Sacred Forest Oracle. And I will say one of the things I think the artwork on these is incredible. I'm just going to show you a few. Like this is Earth Spirit, which is stability. I mean, the artwork is absolutely beautiful. This is the Phoenix and transformation, right? The artwork is gorgeous. And I love the artwork of a lot of different cards. I kind of feel the same way about tattoos. I don't have any tattoos, but because I have undiagnosed ADD, and I think 2 seconds in, I'd be like, "Let's go. Are we done with this? Are we finished with this now?" So I don't have any tattoos, but I love tattoo artwork. I love to see other people's tattoos, and I feel the same way about cards. Like I have a lot of them, and I love the artwork, but they don't resonate with me. And I was wondering today if the reason they don't resonate with me is because the card decks are really stiff, or my other two decks are really they're well loved and worn and they're easier to shuffle. So I shuffle 3 times to mix up the cards and try to say my intention, if there's anything to go with the Kenaz stone, you know getting that intention in there if there's anything that spirit wants to say. But these are just harder to shuffle than my 2 standard decks, right? So I wonder if that's like my issue. I don't know if you have any tricks for how to get your cards to not be so stiff. So we shuffle 3 times, we knock 3 times, and then we blow 3 times just to get our energy in there. And now I will shuffle them and whatever pops out. So I would love if you took a moment to like and subscribe and share this channel with others who might be interested in Celtic spirituality. Definitely helps. Comments absolutely help in the algorithm. So if you would leave a comment, that would be awesome. And we're going to go ahead and see what Spirit wants to say. So if I do 3 passes, that was pass 1. And if no cards come out, that just means Spirit didn't want to use this deck to speak to us. And whatever cards come out, we read. This is pass 2. And this is pass 3. So we had 2 cards come out together, so we read them together. We have Hummingbird Spirit, which is joy. And we have Earth Spirit, which is the one that we looked at just before, which is stability. When I look at the artwork, I read the words on the page more than I look at the artwork. I know other people, when they read oracle cards or tarot, they really look at the artwork and what's going on. I'm trying to get better about that, but this little hummingbird, he is just so happy to be nose deep in that flower, and I think Spirit's just reminding me to have joy. I have the stability of this community, and I should be joyful. I can be very serious and very introspective and reflective a lot, and I forget to have fun. I know that seems hard given my personality, but sometimes I will forget to just have fun and not be so academic about everything. So those are really nice messages from Spirit. I don't often read the books that come along with them. This is an excellent book. and filled with stuff with quotes and reflections and all sorts of things. Tend not to read them. I go just by what's on the card. The other card deck I pulled is called Healing Spirits Oracle. So we'll see if Spirit wants to use that to speak to us. So I'm very excited about this weekend, and I do think that when you go into retreat, when you set the mindset that, you know, this is for your higher good, you're doing this as a what's the word I'm looking for? You're doing this to help sustain or feed your soul. That's why we go to retreat. You know, sometimes, especially if you're a solo practitioner, as I am, you know, I don't really. I belong to a church, but I'm not really a church goer, having been very religious in my life and having almost been a nun. I kind of shy away from church and groups of people and church politics and stuff like that. I'm not really interested in any of that. So that really leaves me to be quite alone sometimes. So going into retreat with others that are also rooted in Celtic spirituality is so helpful and so meaningful. All right, we'll see if Spirit has anything to say with these cards. They stick together. When they're new, they like stick together. So I'm never sure, like, when cards come out, like, did it mean to come out? Or, of course, it meant to come out. Or is it, like, stuck in there? These are all stuck together, and they don't go really fast. So this is a beautiful card. The artwork on here is beautiful, too. And what it says is, courage arrives when you step over fear. We all have things going on in our lives that require courage. And there are things in our lives that cause fear. And so, you know, just a reminder to use this time that I have, you know, this illuminating period, this light that's going to be helping to inspire me to use that to build courage, you know, for an uncertain future. So that's so helpful. What a great message from Spirit. Now, I have to read my own cards because, you know, they're my cards and they're the ones I use all the time. So, you know, they're my trusty old friends. So I am going to read from them as well. And again, these all have books that come with them, and I don't read the books. Sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll look and see what the books say, but I just really go with my intuition and my gut. So, this is the Celtic Spirit deck, Oracle. If there's anything to come out with the Kenaz stone as I head into retreat. These just shuffle so much easier. Okay, that's one. Pass two. And pass three. All right, we have this white stag, shape-shifting support in other world. Now, the stag is an animal very tied to Celtic culture. So, the other world and who's on the other side in the Celtic tradition, we often think about the other side and our support from the other side. So that's our spirit team, but also our ancestors and our ancestors' ancestors, right? So that's just a reminder. And I wonder if I'm going to see, perhaps I will see, I don't know that I'll see a white stag, but maybe I will see something. Sacred Waters was the next card. Deep healing, emotions, and pilgrimage. I'm literally going on a pilgrimage, and I do hope that it will provide some deep healing. And then this other card, it didn't pop out, but it was sticking out. It was making it hard to shuffle. Is Peace Walker, peace, gentle forward, and just a reminder that not everything has to be a battle. Just because somebody calls you to a fight doesn't mean you have to show up, right? And there will always be people there will always be people who wish you harm, maybe not physical harm, but they don't wish you well, and they can hide it with other, and other things that they do to kind of mask it, but you still feel it. But you don't have to participate in that energy. That's not your energy. That's their energy. So, just a reminder that you are responsible for the walk that you walk, and we as light bearers should walk with peace. So, all right, now we're going to look at our second deck. This is a smaller deck than the Celtic Spirit deck, but I do, these cards resonate with me too. So I'm going to take all these cards with me this weekend because I know we'll have time for reflection and writing. So, all right, let's see what we got. Let's see if Spirit wants to use this deck to talk about us. That's one. That's two. All right, so nothing came out, so that means that Spirit didn't want to use this deck to talk to us, which is fine. And everybody reads oracle cards differently. There's no right or wrong way. Whatever way that you do it is fine. I've changed the way I've done it over the years, and I like the way that I do it now. And that's between you and your spirit team and your other world and how you want to communicate. So going on retreat is taking time, carving out time in your schedule and your life to set aside and go on a pilgrimage, even for just a few minutes or an hour, really does help bring you closer to, and connected to whatever your belief system is. So if you have the opportunity to do that, I completely encourage it. I will be doing some recordings from the place where I'll be. I don't, the last time I was there, they don't have the greatest of internet, so I might have to post them when I get home, but I'm committed to at least showing you around and talking about whatever Spirit leads me to talk about. So I am wishing you all the very best in light and love. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.